And hit me one time. There we go. Yes, indeed. It's the Capital City Podcast. I'm your host, Capital J, alongside my main man,
DL Glass.
And tonight, we have a very special guest sitting in on the panel. We're going to learn about this fella also. He goes by the name of DJ Billy Bill. Y'all give it up one time.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the room, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
What's going on? Now, but here's what we do when we have guests. First thing I like to do is say, hey, look, people say, hey, who's Billy Bill? I'm going to give a quick introduction of how I know Billy Bill, and then I'm going to let him tell you who he is, okay?
Gotcha.
I met Billy Bill a long time ago when I was selling mixtapes. I used to take mixtapes all the way from Greensboro to Raleigh to Mr. Freeze Records. And Billy Bill was always there.
Okay.
I hardly ever got to talk to him because I see him back there in the corner, he have his headphones on, behind the turntables.
Doing it.
Doing it.
Okay.
Every time. So fast forward, this is before I even started working in 102 Jams.
Mm-hmm.
Had not seen this dude at all till about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 1982 to 2020.
No, it's probably about 94,
95, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I run back into him, and turns out he's been doing a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
A whole lot of stuff for the DJ community and the hip-hop community, and we're here to talk about it today. Mm-hmm. We're going to fill in some blanks, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And we also had Mr. Freeze on the show. So if you follow that storyline and you remember the Mr. Freeze interview, this guy was kind of like the right-hand man to Mr. Freeze, so to speak.
Right.
So we have that too.
Big shoes to fill, man.
So without further ado, first thing I ask everybody, Billy Bill, where you from and how did you get your hands on two turntables and start DJing? First.
Bull City, Durham, North Carolina, of course. It started, man, with a great friend of mine, known now as DJ Whitted. His real name is Daniel Whitted. He was the first person that I saw DJ with two turntables that I can get my hands on.
Word, shout out DJ Whitted.
Yes. And he was living in Few Gardens at that time. And from that point on, I literally rode my bike to Few Gardens every day with no chain. And every day I came back out, it was there. That's a project, by the way.
Hold up. Did you say you rode the bike with no chain? So basically you got a scooter.
No. I'm sorry. With no chain to lock it up.
Oh.
No chain to lock it up.
That's even more hardcore.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
in the projects, we're talking in the projects, like the real projects.
Okay.
And, and I just, every day, I was just fascinated with how to learn. And then there were a couple other guys that I learned how to DJ from, got their skill set as well. Guy named Walter Jackson and another guy named Lacey Smith. Mouth Split, actually.
Really?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? We had him on the show, too.
Yeah.
That's my boy from way back.
Yep.
Shout out. Hey, you see it.
Yep. So he used to DJ, as well. I think he's getting back into it now. I saw him a few days ago. But graduated high school, Durham High. Moved to Raleigh. Went to Shaw University, which was 3 blocks from Mr. Freeze, actually. And I took one of my mixtapes there, and pretty much the same week, I went to Kamikaze's.
Okay.
Just
for those of you that don't know, that's
The club.
yes, it's a club.
Kamikaze is a club in Raleigh.
Yeah,
Dope hip hop spot.
Yeah,
back
it
in
was
day.
the club for 18 to 20, probably 18 to 30.
Okay.
From like 92 to about 96. So I went to the club the same week that I got to school and I took a mixtape to Mr. Freeze. They told me to come back the following week, bring some records for my audition. Mm-hmm. And when I went back the following week, they said, okay, you're our guy from now on. So I was the college night DJ. So pretty much simultaneously, my mixtape game got started and me DJing in a nightclub got started same week.
Hey, so this a serious jump off. For those of you that don't understand, listen, it's one thing to put a mixtape out, but getting a residency,
Yeah.
that makes a name for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is where the legend of Billy Bill starts.
Yes.
Residency at a spot where everybody goes.
Yes. And nobody knew me. That's the point.
But
I'm brand new.
It
Yeah.
don't take long,
Yeah.
does it?
Nah. And
How'd you prepare for the audition?
Yeah, tell me about the audition, because I've DJed in places before, but I kind of got put in by word of mouth, and I've never actually been to an audition for a club gig.
I had, back then, I'm sure you can relate to this, we used our recycling bins for crates, the blue ones. So I had 2 recycling bins of crates.
Right.
I just took one to the club. And my audition was on club night, like during the time that everybody was there.
Oh, gotcha.
Like,
Real.
so
Give you a
either you were
shot.
gonna rock it or you were gonna get booed off.
What time period they put you on?
Nah, it was just like when I showed up, it's like, yo, you ready? Like,
Oh, and did they give you the rest of the night to rock, or did they
I'm
give
just
you
getting
a little bit of
I
time?
really can't remember, but I just remember they didn't. It wasn't like they gave me a time limit because people were rocking, and keep in mind, Capital J, like back during that time, it was nothing for a DJ to let another DJ get on. It's like, yo, you want to rock? Yeah, come on, man. You know,
Who was in that night? You remember?
if you know DJ Slide, he didn't DJ.
From Eastern North Carolina.
Yes, he didn't DJ, but he let everybody else DJ. He was
Right.
just like the name.
Right.
So it was on him, and he had somebody else DJing for him, and then he gave me my shot.
Gotcha.
So, you know, I will always tell the story, but I won't lead the people out that really had something to do with me getting to where I needed to get to.
Right.
And yeah, he gave me that shot that night, and I was just doing what I do. I played records. It was that, and then the following week, it was like come back, and then I showed back up with my 2 recycling bins full of records, and I DJ'd the whole entire night.
Right. With 2 crates.
With 2 crates, but I kind of, did my thing with mine. Then I would flip through his. He might have some records that I didn't have.
Gotcha.
And I just made it work and until I could build what I needed to build.
Okay. So right now it's about 92-ish.
No, it is 92.
It's
We're
92,
talking
okay.
August of 92.
August 1992.
Yes.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're down the street from Freeze.
Yes. I'm on the 9th floor of Shaw University. Yes.
So you got a lot of good stuff happening. Right.
Yes. To look back on it, it's like, wow, this was amazing. But, I was 18 years old. I was just doing what I wanted to do. I was getting paid $50 a night to DJ. I was getting paid $25 to make a mixtape. It was nothing.
Hold on, Kamikaze the whole night.
Remember, I was DJing on the Slide, so he probably got the money and gave me.
Gotcha.
So he gave me $50, but I wasn't tripping because I was doing what I love to do.
Right. Gotcha.
And going through that whole process kind of groomed me for everything else that followed that.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. That is the same year I did my first club gig, but it went a little different.
Yeah.
K-Nice said, hey man, I can't make it to Side Effects tonight.
Yeah.
But if I call Bobby, he gonna start tripping.
Right.
Just go in there.
And start.
Yeah. So I show up at 9:30 and walk in, and Bobby's sitting at the door. He's like, "Who in the hell are you? You ain't no damn K-Nice." But that's how
how it works.
same time period.
Yeah. And K-Nice ended up DJing Saturdays at Kamikaze's.
I used to ride down there with him.
Yeah.
Now, I was actually living with K-Nice at that time. I was there the night that Funk Dubious performed.
Yeah, we had a lot of people. We had a lot of people there.
Yeah. Yep. So I remember that spot very well. Okay, so now let's talk about how did you actually get to the point where you're working with Freeze. I think we're in a motion sensor situation. We got to do something.
Where?
Might have to walk around the room to get all the lights come back on. But since we can keep it going because we got our own little source of light right now. But if you want to, if you want to check on that, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so while he's taking care of that,
Okay.
freeze. That's it right there. You found it.
So we're in
Yeah, how do you
August.
start?
We're in
Yeah,
August of '92. So from August till school got out, I just made tapes and took it to him. I made every mixtape I made it in my dorm room.
Right. So,
Microphone taped on the wall with duct tape.
that's a good idea.
Keep in mind, I'm a college kid, man. Like we don't have no mic. There's no mic stands. There's no, like for whatever reason, I never even thought about a hand truck. Like all those times we just carried crates back then, and we never thought about a hand truck. Like I was just doing what I could do because I love to do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So fast forward, I go home for fall break. When I come back in January, he gave me a job. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
That seemed like a dream job for a DJ. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Listen here, Billy Bill. I have applied for so many record stores in my days just because as a DJ, I felt like it would be a dream job to have. Tell me about the difference that it makes being in the record store and being a DJ, actual DJ who's working. Like, you see records come in, and you know that you're gonna get first crack at them.
Your paycheck is less.
Because you get access to that.
Yes.
That's kind of a trade-off.
Yes.
That's fair. Is it? Would you call it fair nowadays? Fair trade-off. Get all these.
It's a fair trade-off. Plus, I was still in college, so I didn't require, that much money.
Lot.
Plus, but still, I'm still DJing at the club.
Right.
So we're fine there. And I think a month or two after that, I went from underneath Slide and started DJing directly for the club, so my pay went up as well.
Right.
But I would say the majority of my record collection, outside of record pool records, were from people bringing in their used records or him buying DJs collections and me getting first picks on records, because I found records that I had been looking for that I wouldn't have found any other way.
You had cheat code.
Yeah. So from '93, I worked for him from January '93 to June of '03.
03. It's a 10-year run. That's a long time. I know you've seen some things.
Yeah.
So,
I've seen some things. I've done some things. But to be there that long period of time and to be as creative as I was at that time, as I still am, that put me in another space and in another light when it comes to him. And it was a great run. Yeah.
Well, you got a chance, like this time period that you're with Mr. Freeze is, I guess, arguably you saw the peak. You saw this thing rise to the peak of what it became, Mr. Freeze Records.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the interesting perks outside of the records. Like, I know artists were through there all the time, and to a lot of artists come through Mr. Freeze, by default, they're meeting you. And to a lot of people, I'm sure that, they think Mr. Freeze, they think Billy Bill. We're talking about people all over the country, artists. Tell us about some of the artists that you might have met, maybe developed some kind of rapport with over time.
Well, he had a personal friend that handled, was it the Budweiser Superfest that used to come through?
That was a big deal.
And every time they came through, he was the ticket outlet. When they did women's empowerment downtown at the Civic Center, he was the guy to go through. When the comedians came, because most of the time they stayed a block over, like at the Sheraton. This is before the Marriott was downtown. So, one thing that, like I said, it it was a lot for me when I'm DJing in the club, and then my name is all over the radio, and then you're constantly hearing these different artists giving me shouts on my mixtapes. And one part that people don't know is sometimes when they came by the shop, I would take them. By this time, either my studio was in the back or I took it upstairs.
Get your drops.
Yeah, I would get my drops.
That's dope too. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Like you being in here, like there are a few things that you could do as a DJ that can really get you a head start, ahead of the game.
Right.
One is record store, radio, on tour for artists. You know, these are the things that kind of just, you know, move you ahead. And that's awesome, man. You get the same access to drops that somebody on the radio or somebody who's traveling the country. Like, so just for you DJs that don't understand, like record stores aren't there for you today like they were for us back then. And it was a serious boost.
Yeah.
Having them there as a place available for you to work.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
And we call Durham the Mecca of DJs in North Carolina. Because Durham got all the fucking DJs. So when they was giving y'all formula, like in your milk bottle, was it something they put in that formula for you DJs or?
Well, I can co-sign, you know, some of that. You know, Durham has definitely birthed quite a few DJs that are incredible. I mean, you know, you have T Love, you have Nabs. You know, my man Skaz, you have Bro Rap, you have myself. My man Willard, of course, I would never, and you know, some people have conversations and they don't mention his name, and he should get more credit than he gets. I saw with it about a week and a half ago. He definitely should get more credit. But then, you know, you have Shout. You know, I wasn't around when he was DJing, so I'm not familiar with him during that time, but I remember his name floating around with another gentleman by the name of Alpo.
Okay.
And, you know, there were some great names that were all over the flyers, but when things really jumped off for me, you know, it was myself, it was Skaz. Right before us, it was Universal Sounds. I can't remember the two guys. CeeLo was another guy that lived here that he DJed real heavy. But when Earthquake started and Skaz and I started doing everything, you know, myself and Witted did everything else. That's just where we were. And then there were a few other DJs that were trying to come up and make their names. And it just became what it is. And, you know, the things that Durham DJs have accomplished, from traveling the world to supplying the masses, has become super duper incredible. And if you were to talk to 18-year-old me when I went to school, I wouldn't say that I would have seen the things I've seen and done some of the things that I've done.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, before we get too far gone, I got to ask you the question I ask everybody. What's your first setup? When you actually had your very own stuff to work with, what did you have? First set.
So going back to With It, I had the realistic vertical fader mixer because
with four up and down.
Yep.
I think With It just posted a picture of that joker the other day.
Yeah, because he
realistic.
Because he got the crossfader one, so he gave me that one. So it was kind of like his hand-me-down. I think I may have given him $20 for it, maybe.
Right.
But I had a component set that had like the cassette deck in the front, the 8-track, the radio, and the turntable on top. Some kind of way, because I like to take stuff apart when I was little. That turntable on top was connected by RCA cables. So I ran another RCA cable to the mixer, and then my brother had some other kind of turntable in his bedroom, and he wasn't using it. So I took that one, but that was like some rinky-dink turntable with the needle that still flipped.
Yeah.
You know, they had the little
and
white
the
tab on
component
it.
set one that had no pitch control, right?
Actually, this one did.
It had pitch control?
Yeah, this one did.
What?
So the one I got from my brother did not. So again, I'm right-handed, so the pitch control I put on my right-hand side because I was known for blends.
Right.
And that's another thing that set me apart from everybody else. To listen to this mixtape that I was talking to you about earlier, my earliest mixtape, 1990, that I have access to, that was made on that set. And
Wow.
I turned the mixer to the side so the faders would kind of be like a crossfader. Yeah.
Nice. That's I actually started with the same mixer and 2 of those component sets.
Yes. So you know the struggle.
Yeah. All that stuff plugged right into that little mixer. And they have a little battery thing on the back too.
It
You
does.
put a battery
it did.
in it.
Yeah, sure did. A 9-volt, I believe it was.
Hard times.
Yeah.
And something else you mentioned, I don't want to get too far off of. You mentioned working for Slide. Now, you from Durham coming up, you got a lot of DJ influence around you. We're in Tarboro. We got a few DJs. You know, you had Willie James, Horace, Fred Pippin. It's DJ Precise. You might have met him. But Slide was the guy in all of Eastern North Carolina.
Right.
When I'm coming up in high school, you know, I know my guys in town. But when I think of who's the biggest name that I can think of, it was Slide.
Yep.
And when you mentioned that he's in Raleigh doing this and you work, I'm like, golly, where does this dude's reach stop?
Right.
You know, like how far,
Yeah.
you know, this is a whole side note about Slide, but I'm just thinking, like, this guy has something like a whole area on lock and parts of Raleigh.
Yeah.
And I don't know how far into South Carolina and Virginia this went.
Yeah.
So we're talking about somebody that definitely deserves some attention.
Yeah. Well, Slide. If I had to put him in modern day conversation, what Earthquake is doing now, Dexter and Earthquake is doing now, Slide was doing it then.
Hey, 1989, I remember he pulled up with a school bus in Greenville,
Exactly.
North Carolina.
Yep.
Right.
And
It was written on the side, right?
man, I don't remember what was on the side, but once you hear that sound that he had,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you realize, you know, it put things in perspective about where you are in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh man, like to this day, I'm not there where that dude was with sound.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I remember standing there listening, and this is the first time that I heard sound so loud, but so clear. Every other place I had been, it had been loud.
Yep.
And part of what I liked about hip hop was that loud muddiness, you know, the grit of it.
Yep.
But his sound
Yeah.
sounded like headphones,
It was.
you know, and I was like, wow, how come it took years for me to get a set to sound like that?
Yeah.
Talking about like the past 10 years, I'm just getting to the point where it's like, I walk out and I'm like, it sounds like headphones. Finally. You know, So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah.
Okay, now, you were there. Now, of course, we talked about the mixtape game. I know you made plenty of mixtapes, but mixtapes is an era that has come and gone the way that we had it, you know, where we had kind of free reign to kind of do what we wanted to do in an avenue where we could distribute easily and make quick money in the streets. You saw the mixtape game from every angle. You saw the hand-to-hand, you sold them, and you've also, you know, worked in a place and seen the national side of the mixtape game. So what does it look like as the mixtape game came to an abrupt end for everybody? It wasn't just one person. It wasn't just drama. It was every street DJ. Everybody took a hit at the same time. Tell us about seeing the mixtape game cease.
Well, as a retailer, the main issue with the mixtapes, what evolved to CDs, was when the you used to have the sellers that used to lowball what they were selling for. I don't want to put a stigma or say what we used to say back in the day, but when we used to could get easily $15 for a CD, it went down to $10 a CD. Then here come the guys at the flea markets, and they're selling CDs, 5 for 10.
So right now, let's take a moment and address what CDs did to the game. It allowed a great copy,
Yes,
to be done in no time flat.
yes,
Which took away your need to get closer to the source.
yeah,
And that hurt us too.
Yes.
Because, back in the day, the farther away you got from Billy Bill, the worse copy of his tape you got.
yes,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you get it from him, great. Get it from Freeze, get it from somebody in the street.
Right.
Yep. Yep. So then even, on the wholesale side, when CDs first started, I used to wholesale CDs for roughly about $8. And then, it went down to $6. Then it went down to $5.
These are yours, your personal CDs.
Yes.
So would you wholesale? So you would wholesale in bulk, whereas I would do more of a master thing.
Correct. Wholesale in bulk.
Right.
Until it got down to roughly about $2. And that's across the board. That's every mixtape DJ. Like, some DJs were doing them for $1, $1.50.
Right.
And, when
It's
you
100 mixtapes
Right.
for $100, $150,
Yes.
whereas 100 used to be $1,000.
Yes, yes.
Just
So
like that.
so when you're talking the 95 or let's say 96 to about 99, 2000, when the mixtape DJ was living life, that was the reason why, because we could get so much for our product. And then it just turned into a situation where we had to pivot and figure out other ways to make money. So by the time 03 hit, that's when I was hit with my pivot. Right. And by this time I was really burnt out from DJing, because from touring to DJing sometimes 3-4 nights a week, I was just burnt out. And we're talking, I was DJing when I was in high school at 17.
Right.
So we're talking, and then I went away to college and I got thrown right back into it. So we're talking from 17 to roughly about 28, 29, somewhere in there, that I am constantly going. And I just wanted to sit down somewhere. By this time I had 2 sons, so I just wanted to sit down somewhere and do some things. So by the time 03 hit, and the decline just kept going, I said, okay, I got to pivot. And that's when I opened a business for myself. So I took my DJ money and opened a record store.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about going from the kind of record store that, I'm pretty sure that the record store you have now is not the kind of record store that Mr. Freeze had. We're in a different place and time.
Yeah, well, so let me make sure I'm clear. In 03, when I opened the store, we were 80% CD, DVD. Mm-hmm. So there was no vinyl at all. So it was CD, DVD, magazines, Walkmans, anything, CD wallets, whatever, things like that.
Right.
We didn't start switching over to vinyl until 2014, when vinyl started coming back.
So you left a store that sells vinyl and started selling other medium and brought vinyl in as vinyl made its resurgence in 2014.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Right.
I kind of assumed that you had vinyl from day one, just thinking DJ, you know what I mean?
No, we sold records there at my other place of employment, but we didn't sell records. Like, it wasn't like that was the bread and butter. The bread and butter was the other stuff.
Right.
And, the tapes and the CDs, that's what the bread and butter was. So for us, the records were there. We had people that came in, they DJ, they bought vinyl, great. But it eventually just turned into sometimes we sold records, sometimes we didn't.
Right.
So when I moved and did my own thing, for inventory, I literally took my entire CD collection. I'm telling you, as we discussed before, I got everything off the top. Even to this day, I have a brand new sealed copy of Tupac, All Eyes on Me,
Right.
that we had for the midnight sale.
Oh wow.
But the stuff came in. I still have my copy of it, still sealed. And my entire DVD collection, I put all that in the store for inventory. Because you can't buy that type of inventory, not over the years.
Right.
And, one thing that he taught me was, how to survive in that realm. And, there's always somebody looking for what was.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you had the first Jay-Z CD that came out in 94, but it's 03, somebody's looking for that CD.
Right.
And so I just took my whole collection, made a copy of every CD for myself, and put it there. Now we're going to fast forward, I'm sure, but this is before Serato. So we're talking about the creative side of me and the vision that I had. So I knew well enough not to sell all my collection without a backup.
Right.
So I made a copy of every single CD, and I still have them to this day.
You still got a copy of all your records too?
No, I've been transferring records for quite some time now, putting them in a library and they're on a hard drive.
Right.
Let's talk about your vision a little bit, because from 2003, a decade, 2 decades later, and you're still thriving. Like, where did that come from? Like, did you, the long game, like, how'd you come up with that vision? I heard you say you pivoted from what was at the time because you were changing with the times.
Right.
Like, how did you see this far ahead, or did you see this far ahead?
Survival.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's if you selling Gatorade on the corner and you see that it's not working anymore because the dude across the catty corner across from you is selling Gatorade too, then you're gonna figure out something else to sell. And so, when the streets, you have people at Food Lion, the grocery store selling stuff. You have people at the convenience store selling stuff. You have people at the flea market selling stuff.
Right.
Okay, what can I do that's different from them? What service can I provide that's different from them? What guarantee can I give my customer base that they can't give theirs? So it went from, CDs. It went from us selling a large, believe it or not, like I'm really big on Asian cinema. So at one point, I had the largest collection of Kung Fu movies that you could buy in the city.
Word.
Yes. So
I love Kung Fu movies.
yes. So I had a whole
And old black movies.
yeah. And I had black cinema as well. So I had a whole wall filled with I found a wholesaler that's what he specialized in. Ooh. He had classic martial arts, Asian films, and he had classic black films. So Blackula, Black Girl, White Girl, Cornbread, Earl and Me, all that
JD's
stuff.
Revenge.
Yes, yeah, he had all that stuff. So
Cornbread,
yes,
Earl and Me.
Beady Wheat Straw.
Right.
Yeah, and I had it all. So these are the things that the other folks in the streets and at the stores and at the flea market can't have available for you,
Right.
To bring you in. So we might have some of the same product, but I got other stuff too. So then when that happened, I just, let me pivot again. And every time that things changed, I just changed. How they say you got to change with the times.
Right.
And so
I got a question then. All right, you started and you're watching CDs move. Today, like I said, we're seeing a resurgence in record sales. People are interested in vinyl again.
yes.
How much vinyl are you moving compared to CD? Well, I know people still into CDs too. Like, what's your biggest, what's your biggest money maker in the store?
So here's the thing. I told you when we opened the store, we were 80% CD, DVD. Mm-hmm. Right now, the shop is 80% vinyl.
Wow.
Compared to CD, DVD.
Look at that
That's
flip.
not surprising because like you see it in Target, you see it in Walmart,
Yes.
and I know there has to be a market for it.
Yes.
And then I think I was watching WRAL where they had this little group that was talking about vinyls, and they were young kids,
Right.
like 19, 20-year-olds that were a part of this group where they're going back to the vinyls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, so in 14 is when I started seeing things switch.
Start seeing them people want
Yeah.
vinyl. You know something? I moved to Durham in 2015.
Okay.
We had a yard sale around 2016. Now, mind you, I'm like every DJ. I got tons of records. And there was a time when you couldn't give your records away.
No.
Couldn't give them away. And we had a yard sale. My wife listed I had records. 5 o'clock in the morning, people
They're there.
Knocking
at
on
the door. Yeah,
Right.
for records.
In Durham.
Yeah. They were actually coming from record stores. It turned out I had like every dude from every record store in town came by the house that morning.
Did you sell any?
And I did.
I know
But,
your boy
and
order.
normally I don't let nothing go. You know what I'm saying? But I actually, that day I actually sold my entire Parliament collection.
Yeah. I had a DJ, I won't call his name. Black Friday. I remember like it was yesterday. It was Black Friday, and he woke me up. Yo, Bill, did I wake you? I said, yeah, but what's up? Because I know he don't call me early in the morning. He said, do you want my record collection? I paused. And I said, well, how much you want for it? He said, I don't want anything for it, but there's a catch. And I said, all right, what's that? He said, you got to get it today.
Just come get it, right?
You got to get it today. And so long story short, I went, loaded my van up. It was a lowrider. It was leaning in the back. And where I picked it up at, I just let him know, hey, I can't fit nothing else. I said, if you give me till tomorrow, I'll pick everything else up. You got my word. And I went back the next day and I got rid of it. Now, this is around that 2014 time, which is this is how the universe works. Because no other way would I have known that it was switching over, because the records were just kind of like against the wall in my shop. And then I would get this abundance of people to just start looking through records and start buying stacks of records.
Right.
And I said, oh, I think something's happening here. So then I built some shelves to get them off of the floor. They started selling. So by this time, we're up to maybe 2017, 18. More records coming in. Oh, you got records? Yeah, my grandma passed away. You want the records I got? It just turns into, different things, and records keep coming in. And then, 2020 happened, and the store looks like it looks now, where I built more shelving for it, until I just had this abundance of vinyl that I had nothing to do with. So I had to build a wall for overstock.
Right.
And we've just been going ever since. I mean, we've been doing, and I do record shows. Like, it's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, man. The thing that bugged me out, once those people came through and I wasn't ready for them, I bought a book. I think it was a gold mine, something like that. Shows you the values of all these. I was like, what? I got some stuff sitting there. Like, and here's the thing about records. Sometimes what we value isn't the most valuable thing.
Correct.
And I learned a valuable lesson. I moved 3 times, where I had to move my records. Every time I moved, I ended up tossing some stuff just to be able to carry everything.
Yeah.
And as I was looking through that book, a lot of the stuff I tossed
It's right there.
was the most expensive stuff of all. And it's the stuff that I didn't need at the time. You know what I mean? Like house music record, techno record that came because I'm on rhythmic, I'm on jams. And jams was considered a rhythmic station. So I got all this early house techno through the 90s, stuff that turned into classics. Tossed it with the plastic on it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Tossed it right away with the plastic on it.
Yeah.
And I realized later, man, every time I moved, I threw my most valuable stuff away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every time.
Yeah.
So you ain't never getting rid of shit.
But
now.
one thing I did notice, like, and then you just never know when you look at the value of stuff, you never know. You're always surprised at what's gonna be big. Like Pharoah Monch album.
Correct.
I didn't know it was gonna be $100 album, you know, a few years after he put it out. You know, you just never know. Like you
And if it's sealed, it's even more.
got it sealed, got the instrumental, everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Whole instrumental album.
Yeah.
It turns out it was because of the Godzilla sample, right?
Yeah. Records got me through COVID. Like I literally went to the shop because remember, nobody could open. If you would, then it got to a point. If you were serving food, you can do takeout.
Right.
But nobody could open at all. So I just went to the store, started crating up records, and I took them home and I would post them all online. And COVID records got me. Like, you know, you could live off your savings or you can continue to make money.
Right.
And the way that I learned to move was to, you know, if you ain't making none, don't spend none.
Hey, well, do you right now with you know, a lot of people don't go in the stores like they used to. Do you make more money online or in the store?
No, I stopped selling as many records online in the marketplace because all the fees and everything. So then I started my own website that 45sonly.com that we sell all 7-inch vinyl.
Now I want to get to that too.
Yeah.
Give it again.
45sonly, 45sonly.com, 45sonly.com.
Yeah. I was talking to DJ Scotty Rock the other day, and he mentioned 45s. I think what he said to me was, yeah, man, they got the whole Nas album on 45s.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, he saw it at my shop.
My goodness.
The Illmatic.
So we're getting represses now, reissues on 45.
Yeah, notable albums: "Ready to Die," Biggie, Nas, Illmatic.
All singles on 45.
Yes.
Instrumental flip side?
No. So the Biggie is just the album, but it contains "Who Shot Ya," "Just Playing." So those are the two bonus joints. The Nas is Illmatic, but it has the "Ain't Hard to Tell" remix. It has the song with him and AZ remix as a bonus. J. Rue the Damager.
Is it different song on the flip
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
But it's the whole album, and then they give you a bonus piece of vinyl. J. Rue the Damager is probably one of the newest ones, and that one did contain some instrumentals.
Ain't it, like, as a DJ, ain't it kind of weird that the 45 would be a thing?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. So I didn't switch over to Serato until 2009. All of my DJ brothers had already switched over. And I was talking to Knife Wonder one day, and he was like, man, you need to stop playing. So he was like, if you get a hard drive, I'll load it up for you. I was like, all right. So I went to Staples, bought a hard drive, gave it to him. He loaded it up for me. And then I started messing with it. But I did Serato with CDJs. And then it wasn't until later that I switched over to a controller and so on and so forth. So around 2018, I got bored because now anybody with a laptop and a few songs think they're a DJ now.
Right.
So what could I do that's different from everybody else? And I saw somebody, I can't remember who it was, but I saw somebody online, they were DJing with 45s. So I did some research on it, and there's actually a large sect of DJs that there's a 45 DJ culture.
Right.
Like, and I mean large. I'm not just talking about 500 people large. I'm talking thousands large.
Right.
You know, from Jazzy Jeff, DJ Scratch. Biz was popular for it because he had the 1200s that were 7 inches. Kid Capri.
So Biz played on the small 7-inch platters? Or?
Yes. He had a custom made pair of Technique 1200s.
Ooh.
Except they were all 7-inch. If you Google it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But he had those. But there's this large sect of 7-inch DJs, and to the point that a company came out with 7-inch platter turntables for just us.
Wow.
Yeah. So in 18, I said, okay, I'm bored. What else can I do? Because I've done it all.
With the 45s
Right.
now.
So I started DJing with 45s, and I started collecting, and it's like starting all over again with your DJ collection.
And it gives you a new challenge because, for those of you that don't know, 45 is spinning a hell of a lot faster than those 33-inch, 12-inch singles.
Yes.
And that's the first thing you got to adjust
And it's smaller.
to, and smaller. So if you're used to this being, let's say you all know how the story go. Now is you.
Yes.
That's going to take two whole revolutions to finish that phrase because it's spinning so fast.
Yes.
I used to try to take a 45s out back in the day when I didn't have the 12-inch, and I got a 45. But what I would do is actually glue it to a 12-inch.
Been there.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, now I got this and I can still do it because I want to put my hand where I want to put my hand. I want to be all, you gotta really, you walking on eggshells with a 40. Well, back in the day, I don't know, technology may have gotten a little bit.
Yeah, back in the day, I remember taping. I had Bootsy Collins' Body Slam.
No, teach you how to body slam.
Now, it's a hit. I didn't know it was a hit back in the day, but on the backside of Body Slam was...
I'd rather be with you.
Exactly.
I got the 12-inch single, and the 12-inch single is a 45.
Right, but I didn't care about that record. So I remember taping Atomic Dog to the backside, to I Want to Be With You side. Yeah.
You're supposed to tape that on Body Slam.
I bought it for Body Slam. Body Slam was a single. I mean, it's on the front. But yeah, man, it's 45 DJing is a wonderful thing, and it's wonderful to see when I'm out and people see me playing the things that I play, and it's like, yo, where he get that from? Or that's on 45.
Yeah, because if I'm out somewhere and you pull out Represent Nas on a 45, like I'm definitely gonna walk from wherever I am and go look.
Yeah, and that's because they did the Illmatic, but they also did a Best of Mary box set, old 30s.
Oh, quick question. Back in the day, 45s would burn real bad if you try to cut them.
Styrene. That was the cheap plastic that they put them on.
So it's better now.
Well,
Better
it depends.
experience.
If they use vinyl, then you're fine.
Right.
But if Columbia was real bad for that, A&M was real bad for that.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying.
My One Love record, man. I cut it like 2 times.
Jive
and
was
it
bad for
a
that
wrap.
too. Jive was bad for that too.
Yeah.
So yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that's dope, man. So where we are right now is 45s are back. Records are selling. Well, and I told you when you came in here that we were going to talk about topics, and I really want to talk about records coming back and the effect they had on DJs when records kind of left DJing. They didn't go away all the way. You have your purists, but in general, records went away. And I'm gonna put it to you like this: if you're an artist and you came up learning how to paint with paintbrushes, and you had to mix colors to get the color of the sky the way you want, when you see somebody sit down at a computer, yes, they're still creating art and they're still creative, but you learned a different way to create, and that's the difference on records versus a Serato to me. Like, these records are paintbrushes and colors that we had to learn how to develop ourselves rather than
Correct.
it being presented already.
Push the button.
Yeah. So what effect did that have on you? For me, it was kind of traumatic watching records go away because I spent so much time. I felt like I was a master of records. Yeah. And it took a long time to become a master of records. And I don't think people understand that the Serato, I have the music, I have the turntables, but what I did involved the records a lot more than people realize.
So, again, some people will tell this story about me. Some people, a lot of people know it, but it just doesn't get told. When CDJs like the 1000s came out, I was one of the first people in this area to switch over.
Right.
Because again, I've been carrying crates around for a crazy amount of time, so it was, I can use CDs now. Now keep in mind, I'm still working in another record store, so I have access to everything.
And you have the music anyway, right?
So, so I remember this is when Napster was real big. I remember giving a buddy of mine, Jason. I just went through my crates and I wrote everything down. And I gave him a list of songs and I put them on each sheet of paper so he can know one CD is this, one CD is that, one CD is this, and that's how I started my CD collection to go DJ with. It was laid out just like my record crates was.
Right.
So when vinyl started dying out, it didn't bother me because I was already past vinyl anyway.
Right.
And so I was doing CDJs because it became a situation, as we talked about, if you were not in radio, certain records you didn't get. If you were not in a record pool, certain records you did not.
And that's an advantage that I did not want to let go of either.
Correct.
You got it. Like, I'm just going to keep it a buck.
Yeah.
That was part of my, that's my advantage is, and not to mention that, but I would go places for a record that everybody wouldn't go. And during the week, I'm drive to Atlanta, I go to DC. I would go find something that nobody else has. And overnight, for everybody to have what you have, what took years to build.
Right.
It bothered me at first.
Right.
That bothered me for a while.
And again, when the vinyl was a thing, I probably had the largest go-go selection because of a fluke. My girlfriend at the time that was in college with me, she wouldn't come see me DJ because she said I didn't play in the go-go. She was from DC area.
Oh, wow.
So I found a shop up there and I called them. I said, send me one of each of everything you had. Now, here it is. We talk about stories. I can only speak for this area. At this time, I'm DJing at Kamikaze's, #1 club in the Triangle for our age group.
Right. Side
A of the Northeast Groovers record, first song on the record is Booty Call. I played it. I only played Booty Call because it was the first song on side A. No other reason. Nobody else had Booty Call before I did. Not one DJ in this area had this record before I did. They sent me the record with Booty Call on it. They sent me Loose Booty. They sent all of them at one time.
So
Junkyard.
this is
So it was 94, around 93, 94.
And Go-Go was putting out bangers.
Yes. So,
all the time.
So and Loose Booty was on side A. That's the reason I played it, because the hit is always on side A.
Right.
So a lot of these records, when we talk about what we did, we broke these records.
Right.
So when we talk about the slow burn and giving these things time to build up, by the time we switched over to computer DJing, I'm playing the hottest record this week, which is Jay and Kanye, Otis, and I play it again 2 weeks later, and they walk off the floor.
That's how fast.
Yes.
That's how fast the cycle is.
Yes.
He ain't
Right.
lying. He ain't lying.
And that was part of what made me say, I'm over this. Let me switch to something else.
Yeah. Well, you know something? Since you got a record store, you know what this is, right?
That's a record bag, sir.
From
the label.
This is a record bag. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Back in the day, if you were a DJ and you wanted to just shoot out with a few records, you carried your record bag.
Yes.
And since I got a man who worked in a record store, owns a record store, and has DJed for so long,
right,
I want to show y'all some things. This is why I miss vinyl. And it's certain things that you miss about the game that we don't get anymore, okay? Now, as a DJ, I'm just going to pull something up and you just tell me, what do you think? When you see that right there, what do you think?
That's Def Jam.
That's Def Jam.
Yes.
That's Def Jam. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
2 copies aren't bad.
Yep.
That's Def Jam. When you see that, when the DJ pulls that up,
You
I
already
think
know.
you're in the club. Like when you're watching DJ, he's scrolling through the computer, you have no idea what he's looking at.
Right.
But if you're a DJ and you see another DJ, you see that come up right there, you go, ooh, something from Def Jam is coming up. Be excited. You know about that?
That's Fresh Records. That's EPMD. That's Nice and Smooth. That's Steezo, Just Ice, Mantronics.
And Just Ice is what we got.
Yeah.
My man, that's why I'm playing this game with you. I got you. Now, this is later on. But you know, now I don't know exactly what artists I grab. I just want to make sure I had these records. But as a DJ, you know when you see this, there's only a few artists who immediately come to mind. Now this is later on. This is later on in our DJ evolution. This is right before vinyl went away.
Only because I saw a piece of the label. It has to be Lil Jon.
Yeah, what that green mean?
Yeah.
What that
Yeah.
green mean?
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
see this green,
Yeah.
it's about to get crunk.
Yeah.
Crunk.
Yep.
You understand?
Yep.
Snap your fingers.
All right.
This is some of the last stuff to come out on vinyl right here.
Yeah.
And the last time vinyl was important, this was the label.
Yeah. And I have that on 45, by the way.
45?
Yeah.
Oh, so they even redid this too.
Yeah.
They might have stopped by your shop, man. I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming through there. All right. You already know, don't you? I can't.
That cold chilling can't go wrong.
Cold chilling.
Yeah,
Ladies
can't
and
go
gentlemen, when you saw this at the club, any DJ walk in the 80s and he ain't got none of this in his crate,
He need to go home.
he need what he need to do, Billy Bill?
He need to go home.
He needs to go home. No brainer.
Yep. Bad boy every day.
No brainer. I mean, I know the dude's controversial and all.
Yeah. You can't stop what he did though.
Yeah, this label right here, I mean, man, when you saw it, you knew you had to buy it. Now, listen, as a DJ, you walk in the record store, any of these right here, you don't worry about who it is,
Just grab it.
do you?
No.
If you walk in any record store in 1988 and saw this, do you care who's on here?
No.
Right on.
88 had to go.
You don't care. If you see this, you don't care who it is.
No.
You just buy it. What about this right here?
Yep, 4th of Broadway. That's
Fourth of
during that time. You can get food though, but that Eric and Rakim, you had Nasira.
I know you got soul.
yeah.
Eric B. and Rakim.
Yep.
You're not worrying about, like, just because Eric B. and Rakim were on this label, it make you buy
You took a
everything
chance on it.
else.
You took
You
a
take a
chance on it.
chance on everything else. That's how much record stores meant in these records.
Sugar Hill label. That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the original wish list for every DJ. Everybody start off, you want one of these first. Don't matter who it is.
Yeah.
This is the first, most DJs, the first time you saw a 12-inch single that you really wanted to get your hands on.
Yeah. I have I was talking about the Overstock wall. Every time a Sugar Hill record came in, I put it all together. So I have right now, it's probably about 50 of those with the different artists, all together at this point.
Mine are in alphabetical order. So I was just looking around saying, I see that blue edge over
Yep,
there.
let me
So that
go and
was
take that.
all Grandmaster Flash stuff
Yep.
was right there. So that's it's nasty. Now,
Yep, Tommy Boy. Yep. Yep.
the original B-Boys on the record, hey, Tommy Boy Records. Like for me, Planet Rock immediately comes to mind when you think Tommy Boy, Planet Rock. And after that, any roller skating jam that came out, if you saw Tommy Boy, you knew you're dealing with Johnson Crew and Africa Bambaataa.
Yeah. They
Tommy
had a
Boy
great
was
run.
that joint. Now, I'm gonna take you to the disco era. Now, for you disco DJs, some of y'all might be older than us.
And Mercury.
Yes, indeed. When you see, you got the ladies and the buildings, but this is Curtis Blow right here. This is Christmas rapping.
Yep. Yep. That was a wonderful cover too.
Yeah, wonderful cover. But as a disco DJ, you knew that Mercury put out fire.
I always felt like they should have only cut out one side of the cover because you're missing the middle. I wanted to see what the middle looked like.
Right. Right. And as an honorable mention, it's not about the cover.
It's about the label.
It's about the label.
Enjoy.
Enjoy Records.
Now, you do know that Enjoy
And Sugar Hill.
Yeah, go together.
Loosely related, right? Because most of here's the deal. Enjoy Records. Sugar Hill is known as like the first hip hop label, but these dudes were putting out hip hop records, and a lot of the artists that Sugar Hill got came from Enjoy. Mm-hmm. Here go the crazy thing. Over here you got Sylvia Robinson, and this guy was Bobby Robinson, but they weren't related though. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just had to go down memory lane. For all you DJs watching, you know these covers. Right. This is why we do this. And this was the beauty of having records back in the day. These covers helped us identify stuff that we didn't know. Like, you walk in the store, I don't know what to buy, Mm-hmm. If you got this, buy it.
You already know.
Period.
Because they were dropping all hits.
Right. There's no questions.
Every now and then you get a dud, but for the most part, they dropped all hits.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, and that's why you bought those duds, because they dressed them up to look like the hits. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I remember buying Run's House. I hated it.
You didn't like Run's House? Did you like Beats to the Rhyme?
Beats to the Rhyme was my jam.
That was your joint.
That was my jam. But Run's House, I hated it. But Beats to the Rhymes was another one of those moments that made me want to pivot. You know, because how many turntables do we, like in my mind, how many turntables does he have to be able to cut all these records in? That was the first part. I didn't know anything about track machines. Okay. But that's what got me into pause mixing. And then it went from there.
You know something, speaking of Beats to the Rhymes, and this as a DJ, records were made for DJs back then. When you listen to Beats to the Rhyme or like a Jack the Ripper,
yes,
these were made for DJs. That's why every 2 bars you had a little break. You know, yo. That yo, without any music around that, he didn't say that. That wasn't engineered that way for you, the listener. That was for us, giving us a place to hit it. Yo, yo, yo. And he said it with nothing around it and put emphasis on it just for the DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was made for the DJ. Loved it.
So I got a question for you, since we're talking about albums and sales and all that. I got a hot single out right now. Am I focused more on chasing a stream, or am I trying to sell a physical?
Good question. First and foremost, there's no money in streams. Let's make sure that we're clear on that. There's clout in streams, but there's no money in streams. There's money. Time has taught all of us that there's money in physical product. And if you have the means to move the physical product, then you're good. You know what I mean? Like that, because there are records that come out on vinyl now that sell out in 24 hours. Because there's a demand for it. Now, here's the other part. A lot of times, nowadays, they only press 500, 1,000, 1,500 worldwide. Versus back in the day, they might press 10,000 of that record. So, you know, it's like when they used to come out with the shoes that people used to wait in line for. You know, they only made so many of them to create that demand.
So it's turning into that.
Yes, and that's the thing, you know. So when you're doing,
so y'all have releases just like shoes, and got people out here like, man.
Yes. So Saturday at my shop we did the 10th anniversary of Eric Roberson and Fonte's album Tigalero. It was the first time it was on vinyl, because when it came out 10 years ago, it was a CD time. Right. Vinyl wasn't an issue.
That's dope.
Yes. And we had people lined up down the sidewalk.
Oh, wow.
You know, and almost every record store who carried the record is sold out. Like there's a few left on the planet, but for the most part, that record is sold out.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Right.
That's dope. Yeah. So, you know, I know we've been on the record stores for a while. So one of your pivots has been teaching DJing.
Yes.
And I remember you mentioned that you were trying to open a school,
Yes.
but now you're giving classes. So
Correct.
tell us a little bit about that.
Mix, all caps, MIXX, School of DJing Arts is the name.
Okay.
You know, it's an idea I had back in 2019, and then we went through COVID, which kind of made me go a different way with the idea. But yeah, nowadays we teach classes, individual classes. We don't, we don't have 2 students at a time. We do individual classes, and with each course, it's a 5-day course.
Mm-hmm. So 5 days with Billy Bill, I graduated.
Yes.
And I'm a DJ now.
You can go to the next step.
Okay,
yes.
all right.
However, what we do it in 5 weeks. It's 5 days, but it's 5 weeks.
Okay.
Same day every week. And each week you progress to the next step. And to the final day, you get your final exam, and hopefully you do what you need to do. And then if you want to sign up again and go to the next step, then you do. But originally, we teach you all the fundamentals that you need to become a DJ, because you can learn the fundamentals, but your style can only be your style. Mm-hmm. Even me, when I started learning how to DJ, I followed different people, but I took what I learned from them and created what I wanted to create. So we just make sure we teach everybody the fundamentals, how to blend, how to do your song selection, how to not pitch too far up or too far back, all those things.
So you start off teaching wax?
Yeah, the first class is a wax class, yes.
Yeah, when you said too far up or too far down, like that's got to be wax, because you can take it where the pitch.
Correct.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, but I'm just realistic. I give the student their option which way they want to go, because starting vinyl all over again, especially these days and times, can be an expensive hobby versus just having a friend with a hard drive that'll give you a copy of it, or you have an extensive CD collection or whatever, and you can just import it all, and then you're in the game.
So what does a student look like today? Or is there a typical student, should I ask? You just get some of everybody.
I've had a 17-year-old. I've had a 48-year-old.
Right.
Men,
women, white, black.
Yes, men and women. Yeah. I had a young lady. The last student I had was 26 or is 26, and she has a controller, but she wanted to learn on vinyl. So she did not want to touch a controller at all in class. So she learned literally from vinyl, no Serato, no nothing. We're talking, she wanted to learn with vinyl.
Right.
So do I need my own equipment? Or?
No, we supply the equipment for you.
Okay.
I tell people, if you have a controller at home, it might be better for you to learn on your equipment instead of if we don't have the same thing, because you're going to be using your own long term. But no, we supply all the equipment for you. All you have to do is show up and be ready to learn.
Hey, well, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So this is a question for my listeners, because they always want to know. So what's your next pivot, and what does it look like? I mean, because the climate has changed so much. Like, what do you see in the future?
At this point, I am definitely concentrating on the 45 7-inch vinyl market. Mm-hmm. We're starting to reissue and release for the first time different things on vinyl. So our first release was the Jadakiss Freestyle on Versus. So if you ever see somebody playing it on 45, it came from us. We put that out. Our second release, we do a lot of work with the Locks. So our second release was a record that they put out called Terminator Locks, and on the B-side is a record called Osley Money. But currently we're working on different reissues and re-releasing some things, and then putting some things out that have been out on vinyl for the first time. But we have a lot of different projects. Some I can't let out the bag yet because we're still negotiating. But we are definitely now concentrating on the vinyl side of things and really pushing that out. And, so when we talk about retiring and having something to do, that would be what I will do in my phase as me not being at the store possibly anymore.
And Google has your net worth at 1.1 million. How close are you to that?
I wish it was over that, but you know we're climbing. We're climbing. Yeah, we're climbing. My plan was to honestly retire at 40, and then the Lord had another plan for me. I had another son, so I said, okay, I guess I can't retire yet.
Yeah, boy.
And then the Lord blessed me with a granddaughter as well, so she's 14 at this point.
Oh, cool. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So I'm just trying to make sure that when I'm gone, they don't have to, work as hard, hopefully.
Right.
And if they're going to work as hard as I'm working, then make sure it's for yourself.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah.
Well, I got one more curious question because I think we're about to wind this thing down. With 45s, today's 45s, they still print them with the great big hole?
Both ways. They print them with a small hole like the 12
Yeah,
inch.
I figured they would.
So some are small, some are, and then they still print them with the large. They call it the dinked hole is what they call it. But it's the large hole or the small hole, yes.
Okay, and as far as technology to adapt for that hole, we always had the little cone joint you could slide or the clip. Is there something else that people are using now other than those two? I'm really curious, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's so many different adapters on the market because you have what they call slippage. Even sometimes with the 12 inches back in the day, we had to put a piece of tape over the hole to make it
or
tight.
Some tissue or something in there, right?
So the 45s are the same way. So there's this new style of adapter that came out that as you put the 45 on it, it squeezes in. So it's hard to describe, but it has little slits in it.
Locks in,
yeah,
though.
so it makes it tight. And so there are different adapters that work the same way, some with rubber bottoms. We've, like I said, it has evolved greatly.
Right.
Next time I do a listening bar in Raleigh called Redbud, excuse me. And the next time I'm there, I make sure I reach out to y'all and let you know so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Like it's if you haven't seen it before, like it'll blow your mind just to see it being done and the amount of things that are available and the great music that's available as well. I mean, there's some things that press on 45 now that the only other way you can get it is like on YouTube or somewhere. Like it's not on 12 inch or anything.
Right.
Yeah, that's dope. You're gonna make me start buying records again. My wife is not gonna like this. She is not gonna like this.
Yep.
I'm gonna take these back home and put them back on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming to the record. Hold up. You gotta tell people the name of the record store, man.
Record store, Lookout Music and Media, 2028 New Bern Avenue. We're located in Raleigh. We've been there 22 years.
22 years.
Yeah, 22
Listen up,
years.
people.
Where's that on New Bern?
If you know, I used to tell people the landmark used to be the Wakeman Hospital, but now the landmark is the Alamo Drafthouse movie theater.
Oh, right.
When we're in that shopping center on the
Where
top half,
where
where Cheryl's used to be, exactly.
Right. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So if you know where Frank's Pizza is, we're right next door to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
we've been there 22 years. The Lord has blessed us, man. That's all I can say.
Last question for me. So you've seen a lot in this industry.
Yes.
Being stationary in North Carolina.
Yes.
So what's North Carolina missing? And I always ask that question because I feel like North Carolina is home to some of the most talented musically people, but I just feel like it's overlooked from an artist standpoint.
Yeah, how does Tennessee have a Memphis and Georgia have an Atlanta,
Well,
and we don't?
because we have a Charlotte.
And now Charlotte's not a musical hub.
It's not a musical hub, but I've said it always. Like the problem, not just with us, but with people. We talk about the problem, but we're not willing to help change the problem. The solution. You know what I mean? And at this point, we're the only. My shop is the only black-owned record store in the Triangle. We're talking in the 50-mile radius.
Right.
So,
in an ideal world, do you want more, or do you like being the guy?
I'm not in it for myself. Anything that I've done, any of this story that we've talked about, from me going to showing up at Kamikazes with a recycling bin, from me going to Freeze, all this has been me giving to the people.
So you would like to see more record stores open up? Gotcha.
Well, it's always been hard for us as black business owners anyway, to stay above float, because, I read a quote one time that said, if you want to see who your friends are, open up a business.
Open a business.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. I like you and like Dame and like DL. We've all done our things. He's made a whole movie.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Dame has a restaurant. Mm-hmm. You own a record store. Mm-hmm. I've done a million things. I don't depend on the people closest. Those aren't my customers. Are not the people closest to me.
You're not supposed to depend on them, but you look at them as saying, you should support me,
right?
Regardless of it all, like you should, like before you support anybody else, you should support me.
And that's how it should be.
Yes.
So you say that something that irks my fucking nerves. Somebody called me and they want to talk about a podcast. Mm-hmm. You know how long we've been doing this podcast, and those that are closest to me, I know. I don't know if you could say the same, but I almost guarantee you could say the same. Mm-hmm. The folks closest to us, I saw your podcast, but this third time we put out the camera to record it?
Right. We don't.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah,
150.
We're on year 6.
Yeah, 150 episodes.
Yeah.
That are released, and so we know all too well what you mean.
Yeah.
We got more people listening from overseas in North Carolina.
Yeah. Now, there's one thing if you don't know. He said he saw me in the 90s, and he just saw me again, a few weeks ago. Like, and he hadn't seen me in that amount of time. Like, neither one of us had none of this going on.
Right. It's been 30 years since I seen this dude.
And so it's something. But Dame is my guy.
Right.
So what is it? 6 degrees of separation. You never know who.
Absolutely.
And again, so yes, I would love for it to be more, not just more black-owned record stores, but more black businesses, period.
Right.
Because we can do it. We just got to do it.
We have to support each other, and the first thing we have to do is support each other. Like if it's a black-owned business and black people show up, honestly, that could possibly be enough to keep you in business for the rest of your life.
Right.
But we have to show up for each other.
But if you have, like my Instagram page, for instance, I'm not that guy that has to be seen. Mm-hmm. So I'm not the guy with tens of thousands and millions of followers. Right. I want real people that I can get my hands on to follow me. So I may be close to 1,500. Mm-hmm. But if I have an idea, and if I said, hey, give me $5 for each follower that I have, I might get a third of that.
Right. You
know what I mean? And if you rock with me, you rock with me. But if you don't, go somewhere else and make room for somebody else. Mm-hmm. When I got the phone call, I didn't stutter when I was asked to be here. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm here. Just tell me what you need.
Hey, support. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say this. I appreciate you for being here like you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? We deal with a lot of people.
Yeah. Call no names.
Yeah. So we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you for coming out. And this is Black Business Support Black Business, because we're also sitting here right here inside of Dame's Chicken and Waffles. It was so gracious to let us use this space.
Absolutely.
So we're all supporting each other. This is what it looks like right here, people.
Yes, sir.
Support for entrepreneurs on the Capital City Podcast.
Yes.
Anything anybody want to shout out? Nah,
man. I'm just, thank you, Lord. That's what I want to shout out. You know what I mean? Like,
thank you, Lord above.
Because I'm blessed, man. I can't say it enough that my walk and my career has put me in a space where I've met and came across different people, and sometimes chance meetings, and you never know how that chance meeting will come back.
Right.
You know, and you know, when we talk about vinyl sales, and I'm gonna make this short, I had a young guy come in, early 20s. He asked me, could he shoot some footage while he was shopping for records? I said, yeah, no problem. And the next thing I know, he did a TikTok.
It went crazy.
It went viral. And when I tell you, this whole new group of young people started shopping at the shop.
Right.
It's dope.
You know, like you just don't know. Right. It don't cost you nothing to be nice.
Yeah.
You know, 22 years later, I can tell you that it costs you nothing to be nice.
Indeed. That's some good words of wisdom to end on right there.
Yes, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been the Capital City Podcast. I'm your host, Capital J, alongside my main man,
DL Glass.
and the one and only
DJ Billy Bill.
coming to you live and direct from the famous home of
James
Chicken and Waffles.
We gotta hit the remix. We gotta hit the remix.
Hit the remix one time. Bring it back. Woo! Hey, we floating on out of here like this.